Hi everyone, my name is Simon Misiewicz from Optimize Accountants, and in this video we're going to be talking about the UK house prices, and they're going up in November 2024, would you believe? So let's get into the detail. Before I do, there are a couple of other channels that I think would be worth your attention. The first one is Expat International Tax. If you're fed up of being in the UK, you want to move abroad, you need to worry about international tax, and that's what the channel on the left is all about. You're watching the one in the middle about UK property tax, but if you want to follow the journey of Louise and myself moving to Spain, then the channel on the right will be for you. I have created a new UK property tax guide, which you can download using that QR code. The link will also be in the description box. That was written after the Labour Party announcement. So let's get into the stats here. So this is the Office of National Statistics that wrote average UK house prices increased by 2.9% to 292,000 in the 12 months to September 2024, which is a provisional estimate, and they always put that. This annual growth rate is up from 2.7% in the 12 months to August 2024. They go on to say average house prices increased in England to 309,000. Now, it wasn't that long ago when it was circa 280,000 and it gradually increased. Now 309,000. Wales is 217,000 and Scotland a whopping 198,000. I say whopping because of the increase of 5.7%, which is quite phenomenal. You can see the graph here. This is the chart in terms of UK house price index, which is the lighter blue color. And then you've got the rent prices as well, which is in the darker blue. And what you'll see is that this line, I'm just going to hopefully draw a red line across this. This line here, terrible drawing there. This bit here, even though there's a decrease coming down here, it's only this bit where it's actually negative territory. All of these, even at this point, the house prices were still going up. And as you can see now, we're actually at this point where house prices are going up once more anyway. So what does that say for 2025? Well, I would say that house prices will just continue to increase, but that's just my opinion. It would be really worth me reading your comments to see what you think. If you're looking for UK property tax advice, then feel free to use that QR code. And again, the link will be in the description box below. So people do criticize the ONS because of one reason or another. So I do like to look at what Nationwide say. And if you look at Nationwide, it has got monthly index of 536.6 average house property price versus 530,400 in October 2024. The monthly change is 1.2% compared to the last month, 3.7% compared to last year, which is quite phenomenal if you think about it. Then you've got the average house price, which is 68,144. I did say the monthly index, which is their index rather than the price, sorry. The house price is 268,144, which is up from the previous month from 265,738. So we are seeing an increase even from the Nationwide. But what does Halifax say? That's another interesting dynamic. Well, Halifax is saying the house price is 298,000. If we go back to Halifax, compare Halifax to Nationwide, Nationwide is showing 268 and Halifax is showing 298. Why? Because they are basing their numbers on their mortgage products that they have. So they take the average house prices there. So there are variations. However, the one thing that's equally fair to say is average house prices have increased, according to Halifax, by 4.8%. Now that's looking at back 12 months, 4.8%. Compare that to 3.7% in Nationwide. So there's a clear indication that house prices are still increasing, which is probably above now inflation, because inflation is lower than those numbers. Just looking at the charts of where house prices are increasing, you can see at the very top, we're looking at the northeast. So just looking at this area, interesting that some of my investors are investing quite heavily in the northeast and the northwest. So those two regions are very popular with our investors. And what it says over here is the northeast was the English region with the highest house prices inflation in the 12 months to September 2024. Of course, there's a lag with the national statistics by a couple of months, but at 6.5% in that region, which is a phenomenal increase of capital. This is up from 2.1% in the 12 months to August 2024. So it'd be interesting to see what you are seeing in your marketplace, but that's very, very good. And then from a return on investment perspective, that you're going to get a good return up there as well. The annual house price inflation was lowest in London, which isn't surprising. If you look at London down here, we're looking at decrease of 0.5% over the last 12 months. That's not surprising because house prices in London are very high, and we are seeing a lot of people in terms of being able to work from home, so less requirement to be in London, and more people are commuting into London as opposed to living there. So it's not surprising that house prices in London are decreasing. Again, please, if you're from London, please do give me some of your thoughts in the comments box below. The Bank of England rate, we know, dropped their interest rates to 4.75%, which will have a benefit for both homeowners and for property investors that are looking to buy a property or remortgage. The one thing I do like to look at is the CPI and Consumer Price Index and the cost of living. Now, what's really quite worrying is the home cost is up here. This is the actual cost of living is at 7.5% per annum compared to CPI and CPIH, which is just over 2.5% for one and just below 2.5% for the other. Now, the target is 2%, 2.5%, so I think we're pretty much thereabouts, but under the Labour Party, it has been suggested that inflation may increase once more. So we do need to keep an eye on that, because if that's the case, then interest rates probably will go back up, and that's not something that many people want to see happen. The other indication is to see if house prices would fall is the unemployment. Now, unemployment at 4.3% is not terrible. So will house prices come down because of high unemployment? No. In actual fact, unemployment was quite scarily high here, and there were fears that we would go into a recession and unemployment would increase even further. Well, that's not happened. If you take that line across, we're nowhere near that line at all. So there is some confidence in the economy, even though there's been some concerns about the way that the Labour Party are running things right now.